Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
I've got a sneaking suspicion. I know why the big guy wants to talk about what he wants to off the top of the show today. I'm going to start by going this way. Josh, did you do any New Year's resolutions this year?
No, I find them to be corny.
No, thank you.
So Chewy is very much anti-New Year's resolution.
No, that's wrong.
So that's wrong?
Yeah.
How is that wrong?
I'm not anti. It's just no one follows through on them. They're so stupid.
I'm guessing you are frustrated because, again, Chewy being the creature of habit that he is, I'm guessing you're a little annoyed by the fact that your gym's a little overpacked when you go right now.
No, you're wrong. It
Oh,
went the other
really?
way. So there must be a lot of resolutions not to work out this year, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Okay.
You know, more machines free? No, not at all, Gabe. That's why they're dumb. I mean, have you ever done them? I mean, what's another resolution? I mean, the gym's the big one, right? Oh, I'm going to start working out.
Yeah, I would say like gym/eating better. You know, just the general losing weight is always, I would say, probably the most popular New Year's resolution.
It's just so, and let me tell you why. Look, I've worked out in a gym my entire life, right?
Mm-hmm. Couldn't tell.
My entire.
You even work out, bro.
That was a good pop. That was a little early in the day for that. Though. Let me stretch a little bit. Because there's always the resolution people, right?
Yep.
Because they're normally, which surprised me yesterday because the gym was very light for a Monday. Normally they come and then they leave by like February 15th. They've had enough. Then it's the people, right, that join and then don't come at all during the summertime because they say, well, instead of working out at the gym, I'm going to work out outside or at home.
Yeah, going to run outside, all those sorts of things.
Happens,
sure.
You know? So just own it. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Could I use a few resolutions? Probably.
Yeah, but like, what resolution would you go with? Because another one that I always find funny is people are like, oh, I'm going to read more in the new year. And I don't want to down people because, like Josh, you read a bunch, right? Like that's because you enjoy reading. That's something you enjoy doing. Uh-huh. Like reading just to say you're reading, that's never going to work. That's not, I'm going to read 12 books. I'm going to read one. Well, if you don't enjoy reading, like that's not something that you're going to stick with for very long.
Alex Strofe has started he's going to be a reading guy resolution.
What, a book club guy?
He, of course, picked up a nonfiction book on like the history of the NFL. And the problem with those is people often get bored because they think, oh, I'll just continue to read stuff like this.
Yeah.
And you realize it's a lot more just purely informational than, finding actually things that would pique your interest and be written well by good authors. It's just, this seems like the next thing I should do. So he set the goal of, I believe, 10 books for the year.
Yeah, he's going to fall woefully short.
Correct.
Because you don't just like... I don't know. You tell me, Joshy. Like, I'm assuming that reading is something that you have just done, like, again, because I enjoy golfing. Like, I can't remember, like, when I started. It's something I do because it's something I enjoy. So I'm assuming, like, making
it was a habit I picked up as a kid.
Yes.
And then carried out. I mean, there's definitely been times where I didn't read as much as I used to.
Sure.
Same with the way I golf. There's times I golfed a lot, times I didn't golf a lot, but it still remains a part of my life. It's not something I have to go, well, I'm going to focus on adding this to my life and carving out extra time to do it because you have to then sacrifice things if you were going to consistently remain there.
What would be a good resolution for me? Like for Gabe, a good resolution for Gabe would be to wear less Roebuck. That would be a good.
Are you gonna?
This year,
what are you gonna?
I'm gonna wear less Roebuck.
Hey, what are you gonna? You gonna fund my? You gonna fund my wardrobe change then, there, pal?
No, just shock it up a little bit. Now, if they come back as a sponsor again, then I'll say wear more Roebuck. But until that happens, for me, I don't know. Tolerate people more. I think it's hard to do when you get older because you can become less tolerable. You know?
I mean, for you, because when it comes to people, you are an interesting creature because you don't like people, but you like your people.
I like a good way to put it, Gabe.
Right? Like if you become in and you're one of Chewy's people, like you're in, you're set. But you just don't like generally interacting with people like at the store, at the gym.
No, that's not true. I don't like interacting people when it's forced to interact because other people want to hang out with these people. That I find extremely annoying.
So what does that be? So you want to be more tolerable of your friends' friends? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, not my friends. I don't want to hang out, I'm sorry, with pretentious. I just have no use for you. They're such douchebags. You know what I mean? And I've had to do that a little bit of late, and I think a good resolution is just say, no, I'm not doing it. Because it makes me incredibly unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But again, so what I don't know what your resolution is there, then, you know? Like, I don't know what that becomes. You know, and again, that's why I think resolutions are tough. And the thing that I have a problem in terms of resolutions is like, oh, it's a new year, it's going to be a fresh start, all these things. But then you just kind of keep pushing it off. Like, if you want to make a life change, like, I don't want to, like, poo-poo anybody if you legitimately want to go work out, but it just seems like people have resolutions just to say they have resolutions.
Yes. Yeah. And some people do like change their life permanently for the good because of a resolution, and for whatever reason that was the thing that set it off. But we all know the people who have like a rolling yearly thing. You hear all about this new thing they're going to get into, and then you never hear about it again by the time like April rolls around.
Yes.
So sometimes it's not the motivator people need. I think there's nothing wrong with setting goals for yourself. I think it's actually great. Mm-hmm. But there's no limit to, well, the first of the year is here, I have to set a goal. You can set a goal whenever the hell you want.
That's exactly it.
All right.
Like, if you realized in August, hey, maybe I could drop a couple LBs, like, you'd have to wait till January 1 to try to make the changes and go to the gym.
Maybe I should have a couple less glasses of wine throughout the course of a week. That could be a goal.
Yeah, but that makes you happy, though. And wine's good for you. Take it from me.
Heart healthy.
Here's some of the top resolutions for 2026.
Okay. I've got a good resolution here from Matt and Racine, by the way. We can get to it in a little bit. It's for you specifically.
I'll just read a couple of them.
Okay.
Number 1, obviously, exercise more.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. 2, being happy. Is that a resolution? I don't think you can force yourself to be happy.
No, but
you are what you are.
I mean, I think enjoying things more, but again, I think being happy is a bad resolution because there's a lot more of a process that goes into making yourself happy, right? Like it's a series of decisions. Like making a random I'm just going to be happy. That's just not how it works.
Like Gabe, if the Packers lose to the Raiders, how can you be happy on Monday?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just things that happen in your life. You're like that drive your emotions. You know.
Yeah.
So,
being happy, I will say, again, I think wanting to enjoy things more in your life, I think that's admirable, but just a general goal of being happy, I think is a bad resolution because I think that's like a series of decisions that you're probably overlooking in terms of making the general goal of being happy.
Now, eating healthier, we could probably all eat healthier.
Sure.
But eating healthy to the point that makes you miserable where you're not happy.
Yeah, because you still want to be able to enjoy life. Yeah,
that's fine. You can eat like what I do is I eat healthy and then I cheat. So Saturday and Sunday are cheat days.
Yeah.
Have a little how about a little more balance in life?
There you go. That'd be a
good one.
I like that.
Save more money. Like they're all tied.
But again, that's not something like you have to wait till January 1 to do.
Correct.
Like once you open up your banking app and go, this thing was a little bit, this number was a little larger. You can start, trying to make some changes to save money.
I've been setting a resolution for years now to win the Powerball. It's yet to come through, though. So,
hey, but don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams, Joshy.
But they're all tied to health. Improve physical health, lose weight, improve mental health.
I was going to say mental health that extends to a lot of the things that people, yes, of course. I think that's everything. And I mean, I've seen some people set goals of like, I want to go on a couple more vacations. So I'm going to plan this year. I'm going to save a little extra and I'm going to go on 2 vacations. Those to me are like the attainable ones. Like the wholesale life changes have to be something you commit to and you're ready to do for a long period of time.
But that's the thing. Like, it just gets so I'm just going to start working out. Like, no, you got to have a plan. Like, A, to go to the gym, right? A, you got to join the gym. B, you got to have a plan once you get there. Like, Chewy's been working out his entire life. It's just second nature to him at this point in terms of what to do once he gets to the gym.
But I love doing it. That's the thing.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Like, that's a part of it. But you, in order for this to actually set in, you have to have a plan. And that's where I feel like so many people just fail. Oh, I'm just going to join a gym and show up. That's not how you get in shape.
I think sports drives so much of it for people, though. Wouldn't you agree?
What do you mean?
From Packers to Brewers to Bucks to Badgers to high school if you're involved, you know?
Yeah, in terms of like how happy you are, or
yeah.
I mean, it can. I mean,
I also think
I could tell you this, and it was some of the best advice I ever got, and I probably came up with it. I just forgot about it. But
credit to Chewy.
Self-advice.
If you hear this, please and repeat it in the future. Credit Chewy.
When it comes to parents, and you have a handful of kids, as a parent, you are only happy as your saddest child. And it is so true. Does it make sense?
It does. I've heard that before, so I don't think you came up with it.
How long ago?
I've heard something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I said it years and years ago.
I mean, he's been a parent for a long time. I mean,
You're also talking
but
to
it's hard for me.
People here who can't really.
I can't relate. I've heard it
before. I can imagine. Yeah, I understand how that
it's
works.
hard for me because, when I played, it was miserable, man. I'm telling you, it was miserable. The stress, the screaming, the pressure, all that stuff that now you guys know why athletes, or certainly professional football, all they do is be.
Yeah.
They be.
Complain and moan.
So for lunch, and I think I told you this, guys, before, we used to go into Kent Johnson's, the strength coach's office, and have lunch. And the one caveat is you can't be and you can't talk about football. You do when you're out. You know?
Yeah, well, you guys did that, like, did you have like a Thursday, like, supper club type thing that you guys used to do that with, too?
That was more to make weight for Frank. He was big. He was big on dehydrating the body. Yeah, and certainly. Okay. No, I mean,
all right.
Matt
Racine says a good on the Carlos Talk at text line. Listens more 800-990-3776. Chewy trying to grow a backbone with his wife. That should be Chewy's New Year's resolution.
Totally fair. And Gabe heard an interaction before we came on the air. If I want to check my garden 3 times during the show, I should be afforded to check my garden without it being brought up to me, because that's what farmers do.
Is checking your garden a euphemism? Or are you literally meaning you're...
No, I've got tomatoes growing in my garden. And
you're saying during the course of a 2-hour show, you check it 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
Well, what could you possibly learn on the 3rd time that you didn't learn on the 1st?
He just likes looking at his stuff.
Because Josh, and I'm sure you've heard this, I don't think I came up with this, but I might have, but plants do better when you talk to them. Have you ever heard that?
I have heard that.
Have heard that.
If you play music, like classical music for plants, yes.
So I go over and talk to them. Oh, my pretty little pet. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you should probably be a little more encouraging than creepy, don't you think?
They like creepy.
Right, I guess to each their own.
But I'm telling you what, the garden-grown tomatoes, you guys ever had a garden?
I have not, no.
Josh?
No, but I've eaten many of garden-grown tomatoes in my life.
So much better than store-bought.
of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's going to be true for just about anything.
There's a whole industry of like farm to table where it's like locally grown food, and wow, this tomato tastes like none I've ever tasted before.
Josh, with all the flannels you own, you've never had a garden.
I've never lived somewhere where I could have.
You live in McGuanago.
I live in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Well, you lived in McGuanago.
Yeah.
What high schooler do you know?
Cultivates his own garden.
So
I was much more concerned with the next place to find some beers than I was trying to grow tomatoes.
All right. Here's a fair question. Have you ever made your own beer?
No.
I know Gabe has.
Yep, we tried once.
Didn't go well.
Just once.
Did not go well. Did not go well.
You're too impatient. You got to let the yeast do its thing.
Well, I think we got two. So the thing was the me and the two other guys that I did it with, we all lived in separate spots. So getting together to like do it all, like it fell apart. Fell apart very quickly.
Gabe, that sounds to me like a quitter, and God hates a quitter.
Sure, sure.
Well, you love beer, right?
Yeah. But it's a process, man. Just a lot easier to go out and buy it. It turns out readily available in the city of Milwaukee.
I would love to make wine, but you know my issues with feet.
Okay. There are more than one way to crush the grapes,
I don't
pal.
think everybody's doing it with their feet.
How do they do it then if they don't have the equipment to make wine?
I mean, I'll let you think about that one. See if you can come up with some answers on your own.
Okay.
So,
Fair
is your impression that every bottle of wine you drink is stomped on by somebody's feet?
No, but that's like mass producing it. That's a little different than like getting a little wooden bucket and growing a bunch of grapes.
he saw the video one time of the woman who fell out of the bucket, and now he thinks that's how all wine is made, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what happened?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
My dad used to make it, and he would step on the grapes, which, when you think about it, is disgusting.
And I'm sure some people still do it that way, but there's other ways to mash things.
Nope. Only one way. You got to do it with your feet. Otherwise, you're not doing it at all.
Just use like a press.
Your hands.
Yeah.
Again,
Can we get the Jason?
Okay, all right. We've beaten Chewy into submission. He's ready to talk about the Packers. Packers-Bears coming up on Saturday. We discussed with Jason Wilde coming up next. But let me tell you about our friends at Events by Design, because you can boost culture with captivating corporate events like appreciation parties, brand activations, and more. The creative team at Events by Design truly enjoys the work that they do, believing every event should not just be successful, but fun. One people are still talking about years later. And again, you've probably been to an event that Events by Design had a hand in. You didn't even realize it. Maybe you went to the night market during the summer on Wisconsin Avenue. Maybe you went to the holiday market outside Fiserv Forum, helping out, supporting those events. Events by Design. So retain that top talent. Invest in your culture today. Just search online. Events by Design. They design. You party.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have a crash right now. It is on 43, headed in the northbound direction, right about at Hampton. Left shoulder is blocked with this, so just be extra careful heading through there. There's slick conditions out there, that's for sure. Westbound 94, backing up from 27th Street to about Holly Road. Eastbound's backed up from the Zoo Interchange past Holly Road as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, rain showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 40. Tonight, rain tapering off, patchy fog is possible, a low of 29. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Nobody should be writing the season off. The idea of being one of the top teams without two of your best players is a big reach. But this is a season that you can find ways to do it.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
You think anybody ever feels sorry for the Green Bay Packers? They don't. And they shouldn't. And you shouldn't.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Jason Wilde is brought to you by Lakeland Supply. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. Set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com. Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project? Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Visit extpros.com. Also brought to you by Century Foods. Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
He is our friend. He is our teammate. He is Jason Wilde. He joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing well. How are you, pal?
Doing great. Packers Bears, part 3 or part 213, depending on how you look at it.
Is there anything from the guys who played defensively? Because, the offense, I think we can just completely discard from the game on Sunday. Are there any guys...
You say that with such disdain. I love it.
Any of the guys who played defensively that you think are going to play maybe a bigger role in that Chicago game coming up on Saturday night because of how they performed in the game against Minnesota?
Yeah, I think, first, the obvious answer is Trayvon Diggs, right? I'm very curious to see how they plan to use him, if they plan to use him. Because remember, they got themselves into this because Carrington Valentine did not tackle very well, so he got benched against Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Kamal Hadden goes in, very physical, in fact, so physical that he suffers a gruesome ankle injury, and his season is over. So is Nate Hobbs. So, are they still going to stick with Carrington Valentine? It would seem so, right? Because he was one of the guys who did not play at all. I'm still not quite sure why Keyshawn Nixon played 5 snaps. I don't know if that was his idea or what. Hopefully he'll talk to him today. But Diggs would be one. And I know I got to give credit to Joshy because he was the one who sent this in a text message. Baron Sorrell now has made more plays in one start than
Rashawn
Gary has in the last 9 games. Mm-hmm. So I think he deserves to be rotated in somewhat. So that, I guess, those were the 2 names that kind of jumped out for me. And then, look, I think we've seen Brenton Cox do some good things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one who, unfortunately, is just a split second late when he comes flat free on the blitz. That is on the game tying touchdown at Soldier Field a couple weeks ago. So I would think those 3 guys who played a meaningful amount of snaps would be 3 guys that you would expect to see in the game. And, of course, the 2 safeties who were the short end of the stick guys who had to actually play in the game because they didn't have enough safeties to let them sit out.
Jason, with the regular season over, the stats are in the books. The player with the biggest gush in training camp since Luke Musgrave. Why do you think Matthew Golden had such a minimal role in this offense this year?
Well, Taylor Swift has a song called Welcome to New York. This song would be Welcome to Green Bay, right? Because I really don't think that this is an indicator that he stinks or that he is a bust or that Matt LaFleur doesn't know how to use him. Again, Gabe and I both thought in week 2 when they lose Jaden Reed to that broken collarbone that he would just step in there and seamlessly fill in. Instead, it was a confluence of a variety of factors. And Gabe has heard me. I think I said this to Gabe. I think Gabe might have been the first one I said this to. But Jordan Love was giving Matthew Golden a compliment a couple weeks ago when he said his route running has improved so much. He's such more of a precise route runner, which of course implies that he wasn't before. And that's important in this offense. So I think injuries, I think the depth chart, I think his need to improve the precision of his route running. Did I say injuries? Because I still think that's the biggest thing. Because when those happened, the timing of those were right around when he was starting to elevate a little bit. He had that, was it Cincinnati, Gabe? 3 catches for 86 yards?
Cincinnati,
and you were
was
like,
the
okay.
big one, yep.
Yeah, and here we go, right? And then he hurts his shoulder against Carolina. He hurts his wrist against the Giants. He gets they get Watson back, then they get Reed back. So the timing wasn't great. And again, I would ask you, this season, not 2026, not 2027, this season, which wide receivers, I know Gabe's answer, which wide receivers would you take off the field to get him significantly more opportunities? It's not Watson. Now that Reed's back, it's not Reed. I would argue, as we saw on Thanksgiving, I still think when healthy, I think I would rather right now have Wicks on the field than him, and then Gabe's guy, Romeo Doubs, who I don't think should be targeted as frequently as he is, but I do think should be on the field more. So now you're talking about he's basically the 5th wide receiver.
So, Jason,
like Terry Mickens.
Do you think they have to move on from Doubs just to, progress with the development of Golden?
I don't think they have to, but I think they will. Yes. I mean, and I don't think it's just because, we need to get more opportunities for Golden. I mean, again, he's been great at times and inconsistent at others. I don't.
But it's it's the first time in like the 3 years that's been held against a young player for the Packers, that he's young and inconsistent, Jason. And that's, again, you've heard me say this before too. they shoehorn opportunities for Jordan Morgan last year, doing something that nobody else in the NFL does, and rotate time at offensive line because it was important to get him time. But then they just forget about that this year with Matthew Golden. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was meaning inconsistent was Romeo Doubs, and that's why I think they're going to move on from him. And Golden will have more opportunities. But you're right. You love that shoehorn thing, which I'm a little worried about you because I don't know. Like Chewy and I obviously know what that means because we obviously are old, but you're younger than us, and that's a very old person reference. Frankly, I've seen these commercials now for old people that should wear these Skechers slip-ins, which we should get a partnership with them especially for Homer. Where you don't need a shoehorn, they just pop right on.
Just slip them right in. Shout out to Howie Long.
Yeah, and Howie Mandel. I don't know if they're just using Howie's or what, but
looks like we're gonna have to change Homer's name to Howie, and then we're in.
Exactly, he'll have a great gig. Exactly. Well, see, you knew exactly where I was going. God, we're just vibing. But look, I understand the frustration, and not just from fantasy owners. But like I do think that they could have done more to get him involved. I do. I am in no way absolving them of his lack of opportunities. But I do think that there are tangible, meaningful reasons for it. And while it's not the same as all those other past years where guys came in and it was stacked and it took them a while to get their sea legs, whether it was Devontae, whether it was Jordy. I mean, they're not all as good as that 2011 group, obviously. But what did Randall Cobb have? 25 catches his rookie season? Mm-hmm. And he had that gangbuster start in the opener where he caught a touchdown when he ran the wrong route and had the kickoff return for a touchdown. I just think Matthew Golden is way too talented for this to be his career epitaph. I expect him to grow significantly. I saw enough flashes. Now, I will point out that I don't think that I was quite as effusive in my training camp praise, just because I had, and you nailed it, Chew, I had experienced the Luke Musgrave effect, right? We all were guilty on him. And that taught me, hey, slow your roll, bro, on rookie pass catchers, because there's a lot of factors that factor in.
So now we turn the page. We look forward to the Chicago Bears. I know Jordan Love said he's confident that they can just, practice has been just as, competitive as games. Sometimes it slows down in games because of how competitive practice is. But I feel like even teams, Chewy's talked about when they were really good in the 90s and they got the bye, it would take them a quarter to kind of, shift into gear once they got to the postseason. Is there anything they can really do to fight against that? Or is that, hey, this is the decision we made, we're just going to have to navigate it once we get to the game?
Yeah, it pains me to say this, as you well know, but Chewy's a very smart man. And the fact of the matter is that what the hell is Jordan Love going to say, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is probably going to be a real problem for us. Like, I haven't played in 2.5 games. You saw what we put out there against Minnesota. I put my helmet on just in case maybe Matt confused me with Clayton Tune and he would accidentally put me in, because he was listening to all the plays right in the headset. But it is kind of funny to see him. In fact, even I have to put up my own pictures with my Channel 3000 stories, and even the AP photographer took some pictures of him standing on the sideline. He's the only one with a helmet on in the photo, because everybody else is not in the game. They're all, hanging out and eating hot dogs and whatever else they were doing on the bench. I don't know, Gabe. I really don't. Like, certainly the hope, and we know hope is not a strategy, is that he will hit the ground running. And maybe he will. But as you know, I came around on my thought process on this largely because of two things. One, the defense they would have gone against. And look, polluted mind said, he could have gotten lit up by Brian Flores' defense. I understand that that's a bad mindset. And what would irritate me more than anything else if I was a Packers fan is that if these guys had just taken care of business in the Baltimore game, they would have had a ton to play for in the Minnesota game. And obviously they were playing without their starting quarterback. That puts you in a tough spot. But look, what we saw from Baltimore, that if you could have just played the run a little bit better, then you have something to play for in Minnesota. And as it turned out, thanks to the Lions, you would have really had something to play for. So I don't get it. I understand where they're coming from. I agree with the approach because of last year's regular season finale. But no, Chewy is 1,000% right. I would expect them to take a little while to find their footing in the first quarter of that game. And if they don't, and they, march down the field and score a couple of touchdowns on their opening drives and actually convert in the red zone, which they didn't do at all in the first game at Soldier Field, then things are going to be a lot easier for them, and then they can just hold on for dear life when the cardiac Calebs try to come back in the fourth quarter.
Jason, you think they would have been better off going to Philly than Chicago?
No, I don't. There's one of the things about, and look, I understand Ben Johnson's shtick now. And anybody who's, I was just talking about how they believe in playing their guys. No, right? I mean, that was another shot at LaFleur, which is fine. That's how he wants to go about his business. I get it. But the reason I would much rather, even though both of those teams had their struggles this season, the reason I would rather face the Bears is because I still don't think the Bears have outplayed the Packers. They did it for 3 minutes. And on top of that, I think the Bears are an inexperienced team. They didn't go to the playoffs. The other team won the Super Bowl. And you tell me that doesn't have value, Chew.
Yeah, no, that does.
And Philly's a tough place to play and, all those things. So, yeah, I think that they are, and it's not going to be easy, and I certainly don't want to get clipped and have Bears fans coming after me. But I do believe the Packers are the better team. That doesn't mean the better team will win on Saturday night. But I like their chances better than I would have liked them in Philly. There's no doubt about it.
Jason, before we let you go, because we are going to dive into this as well, I'm sure you guys will talk about it on Wilde and Tausch coming up. But Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and he was talking about, amongst other things, obviously with the coaching carousel going on, what the Packers have. And the language he used was, can they figure out a fair value contract to keep him there, him being Matt LaFleur? The Packers do have a history of not paying a ton and maybe being a little cheap when it comes to head coaches and certainly assistant coaches. LaFleur seemingly, to me, has the leverage here because he would be highly sought after, and the open market for him would pay him a lot. Do you think that Ed Policy is going to try to come in with a cheap contract offer, and how do you think that would go over with LaFleur in his camp?
Yeah, this is obviously impossible, right? Because we have no idea. Like, I saw Ed in Minneapolis.
Did he avoid you?
Before no, he did not.
Okay.
Said hello.
All right.
It's so
off to a good start.
It's so gosh darn refreshing. Yeah,
it's off to a good start, Jason.
We built a pretty good rapport when he was the number 2 man. But and for those that don't get that reference, Mark Murphy would have avoided me because I questioned whether he was qualified to find the head coach, which, by the way, he found a really good one.
Yep.
So in fairness to him, although I think there were reports at the time that he wanted Pat Fitzgerald. Look, I thought the wording from Adam was fascinating.
Yes.
Because the mentality all along here has been, oh, my God, can Matt LaFleur save his job, right? I mean, are you coaching for your job was a question he was asked at one point this season. And obviously, Ed had his, whatever we're calling that Saturday column, policies,
perspective,
penmanship, or something like that. Yeah.
Although policies, penmanship might stick on. We'll submit the change.
Yeah, I was not consulted, but, Ed and I, we can chat because he doesn't avoid me. But I was fascinated by it. I saw that yesterday, too, and I was like, ooh, I hadn't thought of it from that perspective, if you will.
Well,
the problem is we know nothing about what Ed Policy might do, right? We just don't know what his approach will be.
But I would assume you would have to approach it, Jason, the same way that you would with a player with 1 year left on the contract. And again, it's different because you're trying to extend it, right? So if you come to with a contract extension to LaFleur and he says, no, that's not good enough, I need more money, you would probably then have to fire him, correct? Because LaFleur coaching with 1 year left on his contract isn't good for anybody.
No, and
well, again,
look,
obviously there's a lot more negotiating that would go back and forth there, right? I'm not just saying it's not like a player where you go, hey, take this pay cut. He says no, and then you cut him. I'm saying at the end of the negotiation process, if the Packers don't want to pay what LaFleur's asking,
you can't wait though. That's the problem, Gabe, because every candidate's going to be gone.
Yeah.
You know, if you wait until May, you can't fire the guy in May. You know,
that's what makes this thing fascinating.
Chewy, you sound like you were going to say something there.
Well, I was, Jason. Like, how does this work with Goody? Do they do LaFleur first and then Goody? Do they do Goody first and LaFleur? Do they do it at the same time?
Yeah. These are all great questions.
Is Goody going to come back and say, hey, you gave him this much? Are you kidding me? I got Micah Parsons. It's very, very weird.
Yeah, I got Micah Parsons. Also, take a look at my draft classes while you guys are always telling me how great I am. Look, I think there are questions about both, but I think one thing we have seen, and every year this happens, that there is value in continuity. Mm-hmm. And let's not – I'm not saying, oh, well, we can't get anybody better. But holy crap, every year all these teams hire guys, and, oh, they're great, and, oh, what a great hire. And then you're like, a couple of years later, you're like, well, damn it, that was a terrible hire. What were we thinking? And just because they're the Packers doesn't mean they're going to get the next guy who's going to be great. And so has LaFleur had Holmgren's success, McCarthy's success? No, he has not. But I think this year especially there are extenuating circumstances. You saw what Ed Policy wrote. Like, I would say, look, this was not what we were hoping for this year. We think there are things we need to do better. We think you probably need to consider some changes on your staff to get some fresh ideas because things get stale after 7 seasons. But we think you're a damn good football coach. We still think you're the guy that's going to get us to another Super Bowl. All right, you haven't done it yet, but we think you and Goody working together is the right combination. And you made some bold moves this year personnel-wise. We think, that Denver game changed everything. Mm-hmm. I know we've focused on the other games, but you lose Watson in an ambulance, you lose your star defensive player, and that's when things went, because they were winning that game, and that pass is completed for a touchdown instead of him going to the hospital with a chest injury, and they win that game. And maybe it plays out differently. Micah Parsons never gets hurt. The bottom line is I'm not here to carry Matt LaFleur's water, but I think it would be a mistake to move on from him. And the problem with all this, as we've said from the beginning, is we don't know what Ed Policy is thinking, and what Adam said gave us at least a little bit of insight into the possibilities here. I also don't think Matt LaFleur wants to go start over somewhere else. Agreed. So figure it out.
Appreciate it, Jason.
The one last thing.
Yep.
One last thing. Don't change the structure. If you're going to change the structure,
I agree.
Do it when you choose to move on from both of them, because that is not right to do. Even if he doesn't like it. And again, that's another thing. We have no idea whether Ed likes it or doesn't.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Jason. We kept you a little long, but I wanted to get that Shefty stuff in there as well since it came out yesterday. Look forward to hearing you guys break it all down coming up on Wilde and Tausch at 9 a.m. here on ESPN Milwaukee.
Wilde and Tausch, the only show with worse clock management. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
I mean, Jason just kind of blew up the clock. I think there might be a through line there of, why we may have some bad clock management. But if you're hungry for bold flavor, Woodman's has the deal you've been waiting for. Starting Now, January 5th through the 25th, grab Screamin' Sicilian Pizzas, original, thin and crispy, or tavern style for just $5.99 each. You're going to want to load up more of your favorite pizza loaded with the toppings at unbeatable price. Stock up now. Make every night a pizza night. Screamin' Sicilian, the original, thin and crispy, or tavern style, just $5.99. Going on now at Woodman's through the 25th.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Yep, a little bit backed up. We've got eastbound 94, got some pockets of heavy traffic from Highway 16 all the way to about Highway F. And then you're back on the brakes from just before the Zoo interchange all the way to Hawley Road, more through the Stadium interchange as well. On the westbound side, backing up from 27th Street to Hawley. And then we've got this accident on 43 heading northbound right about at Hampton. It is off on the left shoulder. Just watch out for that. We do have a few delays heading into that area. Southbound's kind of slow through that area as well. And then again, from about Center Street down past Locust, there's a broken down vehicle at Locust as well. So just be careful. It's a little bit slick out there. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, rain showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 40. Tonight, rain tapering off, patchy fog possible, a low of 29. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You want more physical harm beset upon people who are trying to earn a living.
I want winners. If someone has to die in order for us to win, Then that's the price you pay.
On 94.5 ESPN.
A lot of things to get into on a Hughes Day off that Jason Willie conversation we just had. And I do want to play that sound from Adam Schefter on the Pat McAfee show yesterday a little bit later. But just to kind of put a bow on the Matthew Golden conversation, there was a video that came out yesterday, Chew, from Steve Smith, the very talented wide receiver, former Carolina Panther, played with the Baltimore Ravens at the end of his career. And here's what he had to say when it came to watching Matthew Golden and seeing Matthew Golden's tape.
When I watched him in college, he knows how to get open and still knows how to get open at this level.
I think so.
Just doesn't get the ball thrown his way, and that's not his fault. Total receiving snaps, 207, and only targeted 33 times. When he does get targeted, 72.7%, he's going to come down with the catch.
Pretty good.
Great.
Defensive player of the year. Patrick Surtain talked to him after the game in the locker room. Hey, what'd you think of Matthew Golden, man? He said, I'll tell you this, he can win at the top of the route. He can separate at the top of the route.
Yep.
But he said the same thing. He's going to be good, man.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Like, I can see it. He is going to be good.
So, again, I have been somebody who has been frustrated with the usage of Matthew Golden. I hear something like that and it makes me feel like I'm not going crazy. Like, okay, my eyes are not lying to me when someone like Patrick Surtain, someone like Steve Smith, also seeing it when it comes to Matthew Golden. And I have seen plenty of people who are ready to give up on Golden, Chew, call him a bust after year one.
Oh, God, no.
I think as long as the Packers find a way to use him next year. Again, Steno already told us he's not going to factor in a ton into the postseason. So I think we're on to year two when it comes to Matthew Golden.
Yeah, that's good to hear. The problem is you put him up against Tet McMillan's numbers, and
Emeka
Ibuka's drop up. You put them in that. But to me, it sounds like the coaching staff wants to bring him along more slowly than the fans do, which is fine. I mean, they have a plan.
Which is just weird because they've wanted to like just throw everybody else into the deep end of the pool. That's the thing that it just the last couple of weeks has just like festered in my brain. Like every other high pick gets thrown into the deep end of the pool, but not Matthew Golden.
I think it stems from, and I think you can agree or disagree with the Packers coaching staff on this. They felt like they had a really deep wide receiver room that had a lot of talent that deserved opportunity. Whereas I think at those other positions, they thought they were a little thinner, so they needed to bring those guys along quicker. The comparison you can make that is like almost dead on is Jordy Nelson's first year. Now, compare Jordy Nelson and the talent that was there versus the talent that's here in front of Matthew Golden, and it's worlds different.
Yeah, but I was about to say, Jordy Nelson came into a wide receiver room while he added to the depth, and they eventually became what they were in 2010, 2011. Donald Driver and Greg Jennings were still ahead of him.
Correct. But it seems like, and I think the results of the season and the snap counts and the targets will tell you this, that the Green Bay staff felt a lot more strongly about Romeo Doubs than I think virtually anybody else in the NFL. Talent evaluators across the league probably don't view Romeo Doubs with the same, they don't covet him as much as seemingly Matt LaFleur and his staff has. And that seems to be one of the biggest roadblocks.
It's just frustrating at times because I'll bring it back to Rashawn Gary. Are they playing him because he's making $20 million a year? Because, like you said early on, Gabe, I want guys in there that play to the whistle, that fly around, even over mistakes. You know what I mean? Because when I played, they said, if you really don't know what you're doing, do it 110%. And that's kind of what those guys are.
Well, especially
it's just like play your best players on the field. And I wanted to ask Jason, and I will ask him on Thursday or Friday or some. I'm like, God, I don't know. Rasheed Walker is fine. Do you really feel comfortable going into next year with Morgan at left tackle, who has a good game, and then he has a game like he had? I don't. Morgan's like a long snapper. He does his job. He's fine. Is he going to snap it over the head every now and then? Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't think they want to pay the money there, Chew. I just don't think they want to pay the money because
it's an important position, though, Gabe.
Yeah, and that's why you have a first-round pick that's going to be playing there.
Okay. I just want to play the best players. If they're a 6th round, if they're a 4th round, if they're a free agent, put the best players on the field,
Look,
please.
and which is why I asked Jason the way I asked. Again, he started with Diggs, but it was more about, Barron Sorrell and Colin Oliver than anything else. Because I thought those guys, as Joshy has pointed out, Barron Sorrell has outproduced Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
In 1 game versus 9 games. When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is, because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. Like last night, could have been diving to that FCS championship. Sunday night, I was flipping back and forth. I was checking in on that D3 national championship. College athletics, pro sports, they've got you covered with no offseason. It's just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season. Get it all on with ESPN, all in one place. Download that ESPN app on your TV or your phone today.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Because if the Packers win, they get way more recognition than they should get for an amazing win.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
It would be the best win of the year, and it ain't even close if they win this game, given all the injuries. You want to join that club?
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Is this what you wanted? The 7th-seeded Packers, the 2nd-seeded Bears, Saturday night at Soldier Field. Do or die in the wild card round for these 2 divisional rivals that split the regular season series. This, however, will only be the 3rd time these 2 teams meet in the postseason. The first time back in 1941 when the Bears took care of business, and the other, the 2010 NFC Championship game. We know how that went.
And the winner of the George S. Halas Trophy, the Green Bay Packers, the first number 6 seed from the NFC to make it to the Super Bowl.
Audio courtesy of Fox. Packers-Bears, 7 o'clock Saturday night.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
Real James Imaging Systems clients. You've heard them right here on the radio for years. For instance, Chris Willems, office manager with Previan Law Firm.
I like the fact that the company is local and I can always get a hold of my representative who I have on speed dial or I have a cell phone.
Then there's James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark, who oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors.
If I do need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
James Imaging Systems business technology client Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services at Junior Achievement of Wisconsin.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I thought
Salvation
every time
Army.
that they hear their name when it's non-scheduled, that's what they want to hear.
I could hear Ashley laughing in the background.
Am I right or wrong?
He's not wrong. Hey, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He is wrong.
On 94.5 ESPN.
There were a couple of announcements that happened yesterday, big guy, between the Brewers and the Bucks. First and foremost, for the Brewers, they sent this one out. They released their coaching staff and some of the coaches kind of taking on some new roles. But the one that got a lot of attention yesterday, Daniel Vogelbach is back with the organization. He is a hitting coach for the Milwaukee Brewers. You remember Danny V, the big boy?
He's a fan favorite.
Oh, yeah, he was. I think people are going to be excited.
I like them.
I don't know if that's just because like one fan favorite in Ricky Weeks is not the bench coach anymore. So then, you're trying to figure out, hey, we got to have a fan favorite on the bench. So hey, excited. Good for Daniel Vogelbach that he's going to be a part of the Brewers coaching staff. And then the Bucks yesterday announced that Peter Fagan is stepping and transitioning away from his role as team president. Josh Glessing is going to be stepping in from Haslam Sports Group. But I just want to give a shout-out, Shu, to Peter Fagan. I mean, he is somebody that I think came in, embraced the city of Milwaukee, embraced a lot of the changes for the Bucks, had a lot to do with getting the arena done. And he was always somebody that was pretty forward-facing. We've had him on this show, always was ready, willing, and available to jump on WTMJ when Bucks questions were available. He had a great 12-season run, obviously a big part of being the team president when they win a championship back in 2021. So a pretty incredible run. So, tip of the cap to Peter Fagan, who did a great job, I think, as the president of the Milwaukee Bucks.
He did. He is a big part of the turnaround. And if you go, remember the stress that was involved with what's going to happen to this team? Is it going to Seattle? Mm-hmm. Then the new ownership group comes in and did a hell of a job.
Yeah, and they picked him to be a guy who was, again, I think kind of a forward-facing especially in the community part of the Milwaukee Bucks. So congratulations to him on 12 great years with the Milwaukee Bucks. We're going to get to that Adam Schefter sound as it pertains to the Packers and Matt LaFleur coming up in just 2 minutes.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
An accident on northbound 43 still causing some problems at Hampton, so watch out for that. Southbound slowing down from Silver Spring pretty much all the way down to Locust. Westbound 94 slowing from 27th Street to about Hawley Road, back on the brakes from Moreland Road past Brookfield Road. Eastbound slowing down from Highway 16 all the way through to about Calhoun. And then on northbound 43, the Rock Freeway, slowing down from just before the Highway 100 area into the Hale interchange up to National. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Rain showers, mostly cloudy with a high of 40. Tonight, rain tapering off, patchy fog possible, a low of 29. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Out on the course, they're the PGA Tour's best players. But in the arena, they're prime time. And Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with lights, cameras, action. We're talking big moments, big personalities, big names in the stands, all on the big screen. Big-time matchups with shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, overtime, and playoffs. It's city versus city, squad versus squad. The sport just hits different under the lights. It's TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf. Tune into every match. Only on ESPN.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like if I need a replacement part?
Sure, we can help with that.
Ah, nice. Hey, I just entered this online contest for coolest bike in the world. You think maybe you can vote for me?
Actually, we just do insurance, not popularity contests.
Yeah, I know. But what's your email? I'll just send you the link real quick. You can vote like 100 times a day. They'll never know.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
So what I'm hearing is there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
I promise we are going to focus more on Packers-Bears as this week continues, but this was just too interesting, especially the way that Adam Schefter worded it. And we'll talk more with Shefty tomorrow when he joins us. No, he's been off the last couple of weeks with the holidays. We haven't had shows on Wednesday, so I'm really excited to talk to Adam Schefter tomorrow at 7:30 here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But he does weekly hits all over the place. And here's what he had to say. ESPN senior NFL insider Adam Schefter as it pertains to the Green Bay Packers and their head coach, Matt LaFleur, in his contract negotiations with the Packers.
Well, it wouldn't be a media decision. It would be, I believe, a ed policy decision as the president of the team succeeding Mark Murphy. He is the one in charge of those decisions. And Matt LaFleur was asked about his job security this year and commented on it, which led to about a week worth of speculation. And again, I feel the same way about Matt LaFleur that I do Kevin Stefanski if they moved on. And he's going to be going into the last year of his deal. I think he'd get a job in this cycle as well. So I don't think it'd be much of an issue. I think the bigger deal here is, can they figure out a contract of fair value to keep him there? I think that's what this is about, them trying to negotiate a contract, seeing what they can come up with, seeing if they get a deal done. If they get the deal done, it's a non-talking point, and his future is secure there. If they can't figure out a contract that works for both sides, well, then you have to ask yourself, are they willing to let him go into the last year of his deal, which he would be, or what do you do about that? And very rarely do teams want coaches going into the last year of their deal, which I believe the priority will be to re-sign him to an extension this offseason. And let's see what happens with that first.
When you hear that, Chew, what do you think of the way Shefty kind of phrased the way he put that out there?
Well, let me just start here. I think the only way they move on from LaFleur, because I would say that Hafley and LaFleur are equally as good as what they do when it comes to coordinating. Would you agree with that, Gabe?
Yeah. I would say I don't know how good of a head coach Jeff Hafley is in the NFL.
Well,
but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If and I feel that Hafley will be gone at the end of the season. The only way I see LaFleur getting replaced is if, and Holmgren used to use this term all the time, is if policy believes that Hafley is a better leader of men, because that's different than being a coordinator. Mm-hmm. Okay, you got to be a good coordinator, number one, but when you're a head coach, you have to be able to lead. And if policy believes that Hafley may be better at that, maybe he makes the change. Now, when it comes to the contract, the hang-up is going to be the amount of years, because LaFleur hasn't done anything, man. He hasn't. He hasn't won an NFC championship game. If you put him up against Holmgren and McCarthy, their resume is better. So policy is not going to want to sign him, I believe, to a 4 or 5 year deal. I think it's going to be a 2-year. It's going to be a here, we'll give you some money, but I'm still not sold on you type of deal. That's how I think.
Well, the problem is the Packers don't have the leverage in this situation. They just don't.
Well, they got the leverage to fire him.
Sure, but then Matt LaFleur's just going to go out and get the contract that he wants. Because the open market would give LaFleur 4 or 5 year deal, $13 million a year, things like that. Like that's, and now you're stuck having to go through the hiring cycle.
But we've been spinning wheels here for a long time, Gabe, and I don't know. I'd have a tough time rewarding them when the last 3 years you've been the 7th seed in the playoffs and you haven't gone anywhere. You know, they choose to be a young team. Whether that's LaFleur
but that's
or
not
Goody.
That's not on LaFleur. That's on Goody.
Yeah.
That's not a LaFleur decision.
I would agree.
That they are equals. One of them is in charge of coaching the roster. The other one's in charge of putting it together. And the guy in charge of putting it together made the decision, and he's seemingly safe. Like, everywhere you look, it seems like, oh, yeah, they're going to figure out whatever with Brian Gutekunst. It seems like this is the part. I feel it's worth noting when he came in, it was about $5 million per year. Now, obviously, he has signed an extension since that first deal, and him and Goody are right now, we'll see if that continues, tied at the hip in terms of their contracts and the length of them. We'll see if that changes in this cycle. I don't know what he made with the contract extension that he eventually got off of the original contract. Like, I don't know how much he's making because for whatever reason, that's always a mystery. Yeah, every once in a while, something like Ben Johnson, his contract got leaked out. He's making $13 million a year. Like when John Gruden signed his big contract, that got out. It was 10 years, $100 million when he was with the Raiders all those years ago when he had signed to come back to the NFL. So every once in a while, it does leak. But if you know that Ben Johnson's making $13 million per year and you're Matt LaFleur, all right, that's where the bidding starts.
I know, but
right?
All I can go off of when it comes to Ed Policy, because like Jason stated, we don't know him. All I can go off of is how his father ran the San Francisco 49ers.
Sure,
and
but like that has nothing to do with Ed.
He fired Bill Walsh, one of the greatest coaches in NFL history.
Yep.
And then he moved on very quickly from George Seifert after he won a Super Bowl. So,
one of those worked. Moving on from Bill Walsh, George Seifert won. The other one did not.
So you wouldn't have a problem with LaFleur signing a 5-year deal for $13 million a year?
Nope. That's the going rate, man. Because here's the other thing, Chewy. It's not my money. I don't give a rip.
Him.
Yeah, like who cares? Pay him the money. You got almost $600 million in the kitty.
But this isn't how Green Bay operates. You know that when they negotiate with players.
I guess I just don't care. Don't be cheap for one time. Like just take care of this. And if you got to fire him, Chew, fire him. It's not like it's coming out of Ed Policy's personal account when you got to pay the money to him.
No, I know.
They got $600 million in the bank, man.
Gabe. Mark Murphy went to the town of Green Bay and wanted the discount.
I understand.
For a team that makes $225 million or whatever the check they got at the end of the year. That's just how they operate.
Yeah, no, and that was dumb. Pay your bleeping rent, especially when it's just $1 million.
Yeah,
I think what was interesting and what stuck out to me about Shefty's comments was the apparent shift in leverage, and it sounds like, if I'm to parse through the words, now I didn't say this specifically, is LaFleur's camp realizes they have the leverage here. Because if you don't like the terms, you say, I'll play it out. We'll figure out what happens. Once coaching free agency hits, I will make a bet that I'll be the number one candidate and probably the highest paid candidate. So either we make a deal here where you guarantee me X amount of money, or I put you in a spot where you have the lame duck, which you said you don't want to have. It seems like Ed Policy's words of lame duck and we don't want those are now working against him because the leverage is on the highly successful head coach that has like more regular season wins than any young coach. Like that to me is him telling all of us, hey, he's going to get his because the way this season got treated and the uncertainty and we're not going to let there be lame ducks. Well, guess what? Now I get paid. Now I get mine. It's a version of what Craig Counsell did, just with a different team.
But how many years do we have to put up with this, though? That's the thing.
You put up with it for as long as you'd like.
Yeah, who cares? You fire him and you pay him to go away. Like, I guess I just don't care.
You write in the
no,
same
I'm asking
thing,
you guys.
the same thing.
I'm asking you, though. But what if next year's another?
Then you fire him. And then you write in language of offset.
I mean, but again, if he goes and wins another playoff game this year, like if they go in and beat Chicago, which is very possible.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Like, I mean.
But what if they lose?
I'm still paying the guy. Like, anytime that the rest of the division is hoping you fire the coach.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
Yep.
All right. Say Ben Johnson went back for another year and he's available this year. And you tampered and he's like, yeah, I'd be willing to come there.
I'd take LaFleur over Ben. I'd take LaFleur over Ben.
Josh?
Yeah. Also, do I have the knowledge of what I just saw this year and it's seemingly working pretty well? Because without it, there's no chance. Like, make it Ben Johnson from last year and you tell me, would you trade Matt LaFleur for Ben Johnson? Every single person says no.
Like everybody loves Kevin O'Connell, right? Everybody loves Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
What has he done? You want to start comparing resumes? That one pales in comparison. He's been the coach for 4 years.
Gabe,
he's only made Chewy. He's been the coach for 4 years. He's made 2 playoffs. He's 0-2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, but everyone wants to make excuses for their franchise, and he's certainly got. Hey, I wanted Darnold back. My GM didn't want to pay him.
Sure, but
right?
I'm just saying. Like, I also think there is something to. You look around the league, and the ones that have the most success are the ones that are most stable. And firing coaches after they make the postseason typically don't work out for the teams that fire those coaches. You let them see it through.
I just have a problem tolerating this garbage that's gone on for the last couple of years.
What garbage?
Problem.
Making the playoffs?
Yeah, because I don't give attaboys to team that make playoffs. I give attaboys to guys that go to Super Bowls. Maybe not necessarily win, but go.
But also, that's like really hard to do, right? Like Brett in year 3.
It's not
what were you guys in year 3 with Brett?
Hurt.
You were. No, not you.
Hey, everyone gets excuses. That's my excuse. We were hurt.
You specifically, the team.
Oh.
I wasn't talking about you specifically. You guys were 9-7. You went to playoffs. You won a playoff game.
Yeah.
And that's where Jordan is right now. Like, he's still, I just look at this and I look at how many teams have fired head coaches. I mean, what, Tampa? Is that the one that worked out?
You don't sound like you're disappointed. You don't sound disappointed.
Because I'm not disappointed yet because it seems like you've given up on the season.
Know.
It seems like you've given up on the season. Like, I'm not disappointed because the season's not over yet, Chew. Is being the 7th seed disappointing? Absolutely. But I also can see the through line of Micah getting hurt, that defense tanking, and then Jordan not being able to play for 2.5 games, and the offense not being at what it was. Like, when you play...
and I look at it in a whole different light. I look at it as Minnesota's season was garbage. They were a terrible team. They were crap. But you know what? At the end of the day, they were a half a game worse than Green Bay was.
Yeah, because you want to know why? Because the Packers punted on the last game. All right, if Jordan Love plays that game, do they beat Minnesota, and then it's a game and a half? Does that make you feel better?
Not really.
Okay, then that to me just doesn't matter. Like, you're in the playoffs, they're not. And good for them that they fought. They missed out on the playoffs. Like, the Packers are in the playoffs. I'm not punting on the season yet. And yes, it's disappointing because I thought you were in control of potentially winning the division. But... like, man, firing good head coaches just because... tell me a time it's worked out.
No, I get it.
Tell me a time it's worked out for a team.
How much longer are we spinning wheels? And I'm not saying it's time, but how much longer are we going to spin wheels? How much longer are you going to... Like Baltimore, that's a disastrous season. When you were picked...
And guess what? They missed the playoffs.
To win it all... Mm-hmm. But would you feel better if they did make that field goal and they lose? You think Baltimore's feeling better?
Yeah, because
they make that field goal
honestly,
and then they lose.
Honestly,
lose?
They're a dangerous team. Like them going on the road or them hosting Houston, I think is a lot different than Pittsburgh hosting Houston.
I mean, everyone's talking about it, Gabe. Pittsburgh. There was a time during the season, hey, Tomlin's got to go.
Yeah,
Harbaugh,
but how long
now they're having a sit-down meeting.
But they've been there, Chewy, for 18, 19 years.
No, I know.
Not 6. Or 7, excuse me. This is year 7 with Matt LaFleur.
I believe it's 8. I think it's 8.
It's not.
It feels like 8.
I don't care.
Josh, it's 8.
Nope, can't. Nope, not how that works.
What?
Right.
I don't understand what just happened. Nope, it's 8. Nope.
It feels like
I'm
8.
going.
Like, I have a friend down here.
Yeah.
We're both the same age, and she was trying to convince me that we're going to be 56. And it feels like 56. And
okay.
It's not. It's 57. But I'm going to tell everyone I'm 56.
Sure, but like, it doesn't change the fact that you're not. that you're 57, and Matt LaFleur, this is year 7.
That's why I think
next year's year 8.
You should
this is how counting works.
Age by moons. It sounds much better. We had this conversation before. I'm 72 moons.
We'll see if Chewy found a power rankings and see if the moons factor into the power rankings. Coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Still working on this accident northbound on 43, right about at Hampton, off on the left shoulder. So just be extra careful heading through there. Lots of water on the roads, making things really slick. On the southbound side, we got backups from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down to about North Avenue. Northbound 4394, we're backing up through the Mitchell interchange all the way up to Oklahoma Avenue. And then westbound 894 is backed up out of the Mitchell all the way to about Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Rain showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 40. Tonight, rain tapering off, patchy fog possible, a low of 29. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play over 2,000 courses, including that famous one with the green jackets. Book your bay at wisconsinindorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
On this show, it's always football season.
So now Jeff Hafley's going to have to get more creative. Everybody will have to bow up and do things, and the main guy is Jordan Love.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
This went from a defensive-led team to now Jordan Love. Put him on your back. You're going to have to get the cape out.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Is this what you wanted? The 7th-seeded Packers, the 2nd-seeded Bears, Saturday night at Soldier Field. Do or die in the wild card round for these two divisional rivals that split the regular season series. This, however, will only be the 3rd time these two teams meet in the postseason. The first time back in 1941 when the Bears took care of business. And the other, the 2010 NFC Championship game. We know how that went.
And the winner of the George S. Hallis Trophy, the Green Bay Packers, the first number 6 seed from the NFC to make it to the Super Bowl.
Audio courtesy of Fox. Packers-Bears, 7 o'clock Saturday night.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO with Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What was a rebound? What did you just say?
Robust. You could say robust. Doesn't robust sound like a nice word of saying just a click below fat?
No, buddy, you're not fat. You're rebound.
Well, Charles Barkley.
There's another
round mound of rebound.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Do you have one? Are you ready for this, big guy?
I'm legit. Yep.
All right, let's get to
It's Chewy's favorite segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Did you catch the game last night?
Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
Okay, we are ranking all 14 games.
Ooh, all 14?
Do a little extra work this week. All 14. I'm taking a peek. La la lo la lay, and I don't agree with it. So, with that being said, Joshy, you're in the mix too here, buddy.
Well, I gave you this list, so I can't really do it. So we're just going to let Gabe rifle through these.
Well, you looked at the list? Why did you look at the list?
I had to. I was sending it to you. I was doing the legwork.
I don't know. All right,
Where did you find the lists?
It's Fox Sports.
Okay.
I don't know why ESPN did one last year there. Maybe the guy slept in. All right, Gabe. 14.
14's easy. That's Carolina.
Rams work them? I believe they do.
Yeah. That is the biggest line of the weekend. The Rams, despite losing there earlier this year, favored by 10.
Okay, 13.
I will say Pittsburgh.
You are 2-0. Pittsburgh is 13. Let me ask you this. If the Ravens beat them, where would the Ravens have been? Would you have taken them at 13?
No, I think they'd probably climb up a little bit. I would say probably 11. I don't know if I put them in the top 10.
Okay.
But that would be, by the way, Drew, I think Baltimore would have been the team that nobody wanted to face.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay, fair. All right, 12.
I'm going to say this is where the Green Bay Packers are.
You're correct. You're hot. You want to use Fox Sports a little more often, a little more dialed in, although it's going to suck in a minute. Green Bay is 13. Give me 11. 12, sorry.
Yep.
12.
I'll say the Chargers are number 11.
Yes, I don't think I agree with that, though.
They're beat up, man. Their quarterback's playing with a broken hand. Both. I mean, the fact that they've gotten to the playoffs is remarkable. That they won 11 games because it seemed like for a while there, just about every week, they were suffering a devastating injury. Both tackles are gone. Yeah,
You think that's, you know what? I mean, I would say Jim Harbaugh and Campbell in Detroit are kind of come from the same tree, same school of thought.
Yeah.
You think they're too hard on their players? Because I saw that last year Detroit had like 27 players on IR.
Yep. This
year they had 25.
So you think that has something to do with how hard they go in training camp?
It might be. I don't know. We can dive into that in the offseason. 10.
AO.
10 is the Chicago Bears.
Oh.
I think I would have put the Chargers ahead of Chicago.
Okay.
I think Green Bay, Chicago feels like a 10-11.
I mean, yeah, they're
12-11,
they're pretty close.
You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty close. 9.
Wow. This is okay. Buffalo.
This is San Fran.
Jeez.
Is San Fran a team you don't want to play?
Yeah, because their offense can put up points. Now you can put up points with them. It's just going to go back and forth.
Is that going to be a really good game, you think, against the Eagles? I mean, good defense against great offense.
It's going to suck.
I say it again?
I said the Eagles are involved. It's going to suck. They make every game gross.
Yeah, but I mean, you have really good offense against really good defense, and then bad
offense against bad defense. Yeah.
Ugh.
Does that sound exactly? Does that sound like something that's entertaining? Meanwhile, that is the main event. That's the because the biggest game is Sunday 3:30. That is like the biggest game. That's where they wanted to put the biggest game. Apparently, I was reading yesterday, Chew. Yeah. Every network wanted Packers Bears or Eagles Niners, but the NFL decided to do Amazon Prime a solid and put them there because they know that people are going to watch Packers Bears no matter what.
So who has that slot?
That's a Fox game.
No. I'm saying who has that 3:30?
This game, San Francisco in Philly.
Oh, that's not bad. I don't mind. I'll watch that. 8 game.
I'm just going to keep guessing Buffalo.
A. O'Brien D's. Can they win it all?
If Josh Allen plays like Superman for the next month. But if he's not almost perfect in every game, it's going to be tough for them. And they start in a tough spot. I love Jacksonville. They're playing better than anybody right now.
They are playing real well. I wonder why they didn't add his name with Tomlin and Harbaugh. McDermott. He's had a lot of time there to do some things.
And that could be
a guy that's done nothing.
If they go into Jacksonville and they lay an egg, I would not be surprised.
To fire him or put him on the hot seat?
Fire him.
Come on.
If they go in and lay an egg. Now, if it's a close competitive game, again, I think their general manager needs to, look inward because it's not a very good roster.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, interesting. 7.
Houston.
Philadelphia Freedom.
Okay, but Houston and Philly are kind of the same.
No, Houston's a team you don't want to play. Philly's just lazy.
Why is Houston a team you don't want to play versus Philadelphia?
Their D is so good.
So is Philly's. That's what I'm saying. They're both really great. I mean, those are probably the top 2 defenses.
Philly's just
Seattle's probably in there. So that's 2 of the top 3 defenses in the playoffs are Philly and Houston, and both the offenses stink. They're the AFC and NFC versions of each other.
Philly just feels to me like they feel they can flip a switch, and there are no switches in football. 6.
So you said Philly was 7, right?
Yep.
So Houston's 6.
Correct. Houston is 6. This is where I don't like it. 5.
Rams?
Yes, I think they should be higher. Why?
They're a wild card team, man.
I know, but they haven't been playing with Devontae. Devontae makes a difference there. They're gonna beat Carolina handily. 4.
Jacksonville.
New England.
That's interesting.
3.
Denver. Or really? Jacksonville's 2? Jacksonville's 2? They should be. They're playing better than anyone. Seattle's 1. Yeah, Seattle's
1. Is there a gap?
No.
Seattle clearly the best team or no? There's no gap?
Yeah, I think they're the best team, but when you lead the league in turnovers,
I
don't know if there's a gap. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there is a gap with a lot of these teams.
It was fine. It wasn't great. I would have changed some things up. But you nailed the top end of it.
Yeah.
You did all right.
Rob Domofsky had some issues yesterday, couldn't join us, so he joins us. Coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
All right, well, things are definitely slowing down out there. We've got southbound 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down to about North Avenue. Northbound 4394 backed up out of the Mitchell interchange up past Oklahoma Avenue. We've got one crash, westbound 894 at the ramp from 84th Street. It's off on the left shoulder. Looks like things are slowing down from 27th Street all the way to that point. On the eastbound side, we've also got some delays basically from just before 84th Street all the way past about 60th Street. We've also got some delays eastbound 94. If you're coming into town for work, we've got delays out of the Zoo interchange all the way to 27th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, rain showers, mostly cloudy with a high of 40. Tonight, rain tapering off. Patchy fog is possible, a low of 29. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Josh, I love the intros, but man, that's last year's intro.
ESPN's #1 source for green and gold information.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Once again, Rob.
He's cracking the whip.
We did this last time. You have to speak on the show for me to give you an intro.
You know what? You're right.
Our most musically inclined and bald guest.
I feel like a jerk. I really do. Like that was terrible.
It's Rob Domofsky on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Typically on Mondays, we talk to Rob, talking to him on Tuesday, but we welcome in our pal from ESPN.com, Rob Domofsky. Good morning, Rob. How's everything today? Everything good now? You set?
There were issues yesterday. I found out what happens when you get a flat tire on a rental car. Leaving Minneapolis, pulling out of the stadium at about, I guess it was about 7:30. Thinking, 4 hours home. I'll be home by 11:30. Just getting on 94, hit a pothole, boom, tire blows up. So I pull over. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the company, but they did a hell of a job. National Rental Car. You call their helpline. They sent somebody over to change the tire. The problem is, it's one of those, those little tiny spare tires.
It's the donut.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're like, well, how far are you going? I'm like, to Green Bay. And they're like, well, not on this tire, you're not. And so I had to go to the airport, which was all the way, I had to backtrack to the airport, exchange the car. That took a little bit of time, but not too bad. Finally got a new car. Long story short, got home at about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Took a handful of melatonin and just slept right through the radio. Yeah. Well, because you're trying to stay awake driving, right?
Oh,
Then you're wired, and you can't go to sleep when you get home.
When you get home, nope.
So, handful of melatonin gummies, and I never even heard my alarm. Never heard you guys call.
Well, we're glad you were able to figure that out, and now everybody knows what happens if you get a flat tire in your rental car.
Yeah, call them. Don't call AAA. You call the company, and they'll take care of it. They had a guy out there putting the donut on within 30 minutes. Which anybody who's had a flat tire and had to wait on the side of the road for a tow truck or somebody, it usually takes an hour or two.
Yeah, that is fast service. So in the game, this is where I started with Jason as well when he joined us earlier today. So I want to ask, since you were there, are there any players, because I think we're dismissing the offensive performance, but defensively I thought they held up for a bunch of backups playing mostly starters. Are there any players on the defense that you saw in the game on Sunday that you think could have a role on the defense going forward in the postseason?
Yeah, I'm glad you put it that way, Gabe, because, there were some guys that played well, but does it matter because, the starters are coming back? I do think there were a couple, and I think it starts with Barron Sorrell. He showed some run-stopping ability. I think it was a 3rd and 1. He jumped in there and stopped the run. He got after the quarterback. He played really well. And given the issues that they've had with Rashawn Gary not playing, more than half the snaps, Lucas Van Ness, and obviously not having Micah. I think he will get some rotational snaps and should get some rotational snaps. And then Trevon Diggs is the other big one, right? Did you see enough to say we were going to start him at cornerback instead of Carrington Valentine? And we asked Matt LaFleur that after the game, and he would not rule out that possibility. So I thought Diggs tackled well, which is something that they desperately need at that position. I don't know, Gabe, though, that we saw enough of his coverage to know whether he can hold up or not.
Did they pull him at some point in the game? Because I don't remember him being out there late in the fourth quarter, and then I looked at the snap chart after the game. He only played, I think it was 49% of the snaps.
Yeah, I think it was 32 out of 65 or something like that. I think they pulled him because that tells you they probably didn't want him to get hurt. They saw enough. If he was going to just, if he was not going to be a factor, they probably would have just let him finish the game. But that tells me, and again, why sort of we asked if he could start, that tells me they're thinking about it at least.
Rob, what's the locker room like? I mean, you've been around false chatter before and, going through the motions and type. Are they there or do they actually believe that they can do something in the playoffs?
Yeah, some of the times, Chewy, you don't know it's false chatter until after the fact, right? Like, it's hard to tell. Yeah. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that I think it's legit, and they all seem to be sharing the same message. Jordan Love talked to the team after the game, which I think is it's a good thing for a quarterback leader to do. And in the locker room, in the Metrodome, got everybody together and delivered a message that says, "Hey, it's time to go. This is the real deal now." I always used to joke that or Brett used to always joke that like, now you're gonna start playing because it's the playoffs. Well, in this case, they didn't play in the finale, so I guess it actually applies in this. But I always used to like appreciate Brett saying like, "Oh, you're just going to try harder now? Why weren't you trying as hard before?" So, but I do think in this case maybe it applies.
I just remember the mindset, Rob, in '98 when we went to San Francisco.
Yeah,
the TO game where it's not that we didn't try.
No,
but we knew we weren't good enough. We got blown out twice by Minnesota. They were in front of us. Atlanta was just coming off of a Super Bowl. We would have had to go there. I mean, players aren't stupid.
Right. And what happened to Minnesota though? Right? Wasn't that their 15-1 season?
Yeah.
Shout out to Gary Anderson.
Yeah, but to that point in that season, there might be some parallel because I think we all kind of had a feeling Mike Holmgren was out the door. The year before at Super Bowl 32, there was talk of him, going somewhere where he could be coach and GM. And, this year there is some uncertainty around Matt LaFleur and his status. So I do, there is a parallel there. But I go back to Chewy. I just don't know, at least from us, from the outside, you just never know what's real and what's not until after the fact.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you brought up Matt LaFleur. Did you see the comments that your colleague Adam Schefter had yesterday about the Matt LaFleur situation?
No, I probably slept through that too.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's play it for you and get your reaction. This is what Adam Schefter had to say about Matt LaFleur and the Packers yesterday on the Pat McAfee Show.
Team succeeding Mark Murphy. He is the one in charge of those decisions. And Matt LaFleur was asked about his job security this year and commented on it, which led to about a week worth of speculation. And again, I feel the same way about Matt LaFleur that I do Kevin Stefanski if they moved on. And he's going to be going into the last year of his deal. I think he'd get a job in this cycle as well. So I don't think it'd be much of an issue. I think the bigger deal here is, can they figure out a contract of fair value to keep him there? I think that's what this is about, them trying to negotiate a contract, seeing what they can come up with, seeing if they get a deal done. If they get the deal done, it's a non-talking point, and his future is secure there. If they can't figure out a contract that works for both sides, well, then you have to ask yourself, are they willing to let him go into the last year of his deal, which he would be, or what do you do about that? And very rarely do teams want coaches going into the last year of their deal, which I believe the priority will be to re-sign him to an extension this offseason. And let's see what happens with that first.
Can they come to a contract that is a fair deal between the two of them, I think is the big highlight there.
I agree.
So it seems like now we're past the, do they want him back? It seems like we've moved into their negotiating phase.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think that the salary and where it ranks among all the other head coaches is an issue. Now, if he goes in and says, I want to be paid, like Andy Reid and Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh, I don't know if they do it. Now, to me, you shouldn't. If you think he's the coach, you pay him whatever you have to have. You don't. To me, I guess what I'm trying to say, Gabe, is we don't say, we want him as the coach if it's $12 million, but we don't want him as the coach if it's 16. Either either you think he's the guy or you don't, and then you figure out the money. And I still think and I think Adam's right about that. There is negotiating and jockeying going on, but I really believe that everything remains on the table from people, that I've talked to, that they could sign him to an extension. They could let him go in and play out the last year. They could move on. He could choose not to sign an extension and say, trade me. I think any of the possible scenarios remain on the table. I really do.
Well, Gabe's stance is, I don't really care about the money. It doesn't affect the cap. But that's not how Green Bay operates. You had a president two years ago that tried to get a rent reduction when he's getting a check for $300 million from the, This is a cost-conscious organization. So they're not going to go, hey, Matt, here's a 5-year deal, $13 million average.
Yeah, no, they're not. There's definitely not a blank check situation, Chewy. But here's the thing that nobody knows, and we just haven't seen Ed Policy in this position before, right? Ed is never, I think Ed's really fit and a good pick for the job. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form, but he's never run a team before, and he's never had to. We don't know what his history is. Now, you can talk about his dad. He moved on from these legendary coaches. Well, like we talked about last week, Chewy, you're not just, just because your dad is something doesn't mean that you're the same way. But we don't know. We don't know Ed's thinking. Ed's very close to the vest. But I do think, from what I can gather, I'm not 100% sure a decision has been made one way or another yet.
Whenever the season ends, whether that's Sunday in Chicago, whether that's, if they win that game, then down the line, do you think that they come to a resolution rather quick after the season ends?
I do. I don't think this is going to be, unless we're not doing anything and you're leaving. You're stuck with this contract in one more year. Rob, they'd have to make some sort of announcement. And look, I know Ed said over the summer, I don't like lame duck, GMs and head coaches, but maybe he's changed his mind on that. I don't think that's the right way to go. And Adam said, it very rarely happens. And Mike McCarthy did it. And, look what happened. He ended up not, getting another contract after they just played out the deal in Dallas.
I think, again, I'm curious both of your thoughts on this, because of all the possible scenarios that you just laid out, Rob, I think the riskiest one is just playing out the year. I feel playing out a 1-year contract is not good for anybody. I don't think it's good for LaFleur. I don't think it's good for the Packers. I think that's the riskiest proposition for everybody if that's the route they go.
Yeah, it puts way too much, I don't want to say pressure because there's pressure on every season, but it's every tiny little thing will be under a microscope, and which is exactly what it was in Dallas in Mike McCarthy's last year. If you remember, even before when they fired McCarthy, that offseason he had 1 year left on his deal, and they actually added a year to that contract. They did it very quietly and very secretly, and nobody knew about it, I think, until after Mike got fired. But it's whatever they do, and I think they need to make it clear publicly what happens. They can't just do an extension and not tell anybody. They can't not do an extension and not tell anybody. It's important for next season's success or failure how they handle it, both privately and publicly.
Rob, with 6 head coach openings after yesterday, you think Hafley's gone?
I thought so, a couple of weeks ago, just not, thinking about who all the other candidates are. Then, Chewy, once you start to see these reports that, this team wants to interview this guy, this team wants to interview that guy, there's a lot of candidates out there. There really are. More than I guess maybe there's not like a Ben Johnson, but there are a lot of people getting interviews. And, Matt LaFleur was probably not on anybody's high list when the Packers interviewed him, and he blew him away in the interview process. So, maybe one of these guys goes in you don't think is going to be a top tier candidate and blows an owner or GM away, and they hire him, and that that could hurt a guy like Jeff Hafley. But I do think he's going to get interviews, at least one, if not multiple interviews, and then it's up to him what he can do with it. But I thought a while ago, and this is not a reflection of how the Packers played on defense down the stretch. It really isn't. It's just a matter of I realized there was a lot more candidates than maybe I thought, and good candidates. I thought maybe there was a better than 50-50 chance he was a head coach next year. Now I would say it's probably slightly lower than that. Still probably 60-40 or 40-60 for him getting a head coaching job, but I don't think it's a slam dunk by any means.
Your thoughts on the Packers matchup against the Bears? This is the one they wanted, right? Yeah. They wanted to go to Chicago versus going to Philly.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur can say if they win this game, boy, I sure enjoyed beating Ben Johnson twice this year because he will have beaten him twice. Whoever wins this game will get to say that.
Or I guess it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we rested our players.
Yeah, right, exactly. We saw how they played against the Bears for 59 minutes, right, or 58 minutes, whatever it was. They should feel good about that. They should have confidence going in there. They should have good health. I think it's a very, very winnable game. I really do.
Rob, we always appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you next week, hopefully after a Packers victory.
All right, sounds good, guys. We'll be seeing you.
Rob Demovsky joins us Mondays. Had some issues yesterday, so he joined us Tuesday this week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You can join wrestling legend Kevin Nash January 31st at Potawatomi Casino Hotel for an elevated viewing experience of the Royal Rumble. Our podcast, GKW, Good Karma Wrestling, we're going to be there doing a live show before with Kevin. Going to do a live reaction show after as well. But this is my favorite pro wrestling event of the year. I absolutely love it. You can watch your favorite WWE superstars battle it out in the match of the year. It's going to be happening in the annex of Potawatomi Casino. Here's how you get in to the Royal Rumble party at Potawatomi. For $100 a ticket, you get 2 complimentary drinks, an unlimited buffet access, a photo, and autographs. You get access to the legendary Kevin Nash, $25 in reward or match play to your favorite games on Potawatomi, and a shot at winning your own WWE Championship belt. Secure your spot. Just visit Potawatomi's website today and enjoy January 31st, the Royal Rumble at Potawatomi with GKW and Kevin Nash.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Make your next activation or event a slam dunk with Captivate Exhibits, your leader in transforming spaces and creating brand experiences that truly stand out and connect. If you can dream it, Captivate can design it, build it, and activate it. From trade shows and events to enhancing interior spaces like your lobby, history wall, or break room, Captivate Exhibits turns ideas into highlight reels. With over 32 years of award-winning experience, Captivate delivers every time, always beating the buzzer. Get started with your next big idea today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
My name's Brian Windhurst, and I've seen a lot of good offense in my life.
If you're looking to initiate some offense of your own against your high-interest credit card debt, I'm letting you know a SoFi personal loan might be the play. A SoFi personal loan could be quite the triple threat with low fixed rates, no fees required, and as soon as the same day funding. View your rate for a SoFi personal loan at SoFi.com/offense. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, NA member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply at SoFi.com/offense. NMLS 696891.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks survived a late scare to beat the Kings 115-98 in Sacramento on Sunday night, improving to 16-20 on the season. Milwaukee led by as many as 26 in the third, but saw that margin shrink to 3 before responding in the fourth. It was Giannis Antetokounmpo taking over late, finishing with 37 points and 11 rebounds. Here's head coach Doc Rivers after the game.
I thought our non-Giannis minutes in the first half were phenomenal. And I thought that actually opened the game for us because it allowed us to sit Giannis a little longer. So I thought that was key.
The Bucks have now won 4 out of their last 5 and will look to continue that trend on their West Coast road trip with a matchup against the Warriors on Wednesday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Do you like your pickles warm or cold?
Want my pickle a little warm.
Warm's good.
It's better than cold.
Cold can be good, too.
Yeah, well, no.
Cold
Shrinkage
can
gets
be
involved.
good.
It's not great.
On 94.5 ESPN.
You seemed a little shocked there, big guy.
At what?
Rob's answer to you, because again, you've been, foregone conclusion, Hafley's gone. Rob's not in that camp. Now, he still thinks there's a chance he gets a job, but he doesn't think it's a foregone conclusion.
I just don't know who all the candidates are. I haven't been really hearing.
So, Stefanski has already set up interviews. Matt Nagy is someone that I know Tennessee is seemingly highly interested in. Again, Hafley can't go on an interview now until the Packers season is done, or if they make the Super Bowl, you would be able to talk to him in the week in between.
I just don't understand the regurg. I'm not a big regurg guy. Never have been. You?
It depends. I mean, your guy is like the biggest example of how a regurg worked.
Who?
Andy.
What are you talking about? In Philly?
So he got fired.
Sick of it.
So he got fired from Philly.
He wanted to get fired.
And then he went to Kansas City.
Yeah, but
therefore being
good.
a
That's
regurg.
the difference. Would you like to get rid of LaFleur and hire Matt Nagy?
No.
No. That's what I mean by regurg.
That is not.
I don't mind regurg if it's, if I'm throwing up, a steak, yeah, it's not going to be as good as the first time it went down, but probably not bad. If I'm throwing up broccoli, no, I'm spitting it out.
I think this is maybe work on this analogy because.
No, I thought that was pinpoint.
I am just going to go on record. I can't believe I have to do this, but I am going on record and saying that all vomit is bad vomit. I don't care what I ate before. It's all coming out bad. None of it's good.
Not according to birds.
Because, you're a bird brain. How about that?
That's fair. Why was Josh silent during that?
Willie and Tausch, they're coming up next here at 94.5 ESPN.
We've got a couple of issues out on the road right now.